British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has admitted that UK officials did not fully grasp the severity of the coronavirus at the start of the pandemic. He says in hindsight, British leadership could have done things differently. Here's CBS News contributor Simon Bates with this weekend's edition of London Calling. And we should note, Simon's opinions are his own and don't necessarily reflect those of CBSN.
The question I hear constantly is it safe? Is it safe to go to the shops, to have a drink in a pub, to take a train, to take a flight? And I don't know the answer. Like the vast majority of people, I understand next to nothing about the science of this virus, but I have been thinking hard about our reaction to it and whether or not we're simply expecting too much from our scientists. For many people, it feels like our civilization is at risk, but the truth is much simpler. Mankind has lived with this sort of event throughout history, battling horrific outbreaks of appalling diseases, and our ancestors didn't have Dr. Fauci. Tuberculosis was a curse as far back as the ancient Egyptians, and it's still around. Then there was the Black Death in the 1300s, the Great Plague of London in the 17th century. Smallpox killed hundreds of millions of people, and it wasn't until Edward Jenner popped up in 1796 with the world's first vaccine that our fight back really started. Even then, it took nearly 200 years, until 1980, before we could confirm that the disease had been defeated. Polio, measles, AIDS, I could go on, but look back through history at all those threats to mankind, and we're still here. We've survived the lot. Now, consider that next to our expectation of a simple inoculation against today's virus. Around the world, scientists are racing to develop an effective vaccine, but we're asking an awful lot from them to deal with a threat that only arrived at the turn of the year. And if one of those teams does make a breakthrough, and we're all offered a vaccination in the fall, how many of us will be thinking, ooh, that was a bit quick. Have they checked everything? And is it safe? That's London Calling for today. This is Simon Bates for CBS News in Devon.